So glad you're here. Why is one passionate about one's passion? No, I didn't say penguin. Passion. No penguins. No penguins. Hi Artlings, I'm Melani Grube with Creative Magic, and around here we're all about all things art, that deep part of us that wants to sing out. So come on in, step into the Magic Circle Studios, home of the all-powerful muse, and now your home. And no matter whether you're an illustrator, an artist, a dancer, a photographer, an accountant, a politician, a linebacker, no matter what you're getting paid to do, you have a passion. Maybe it's what you're paid to do, maybe it's not, but you have a passion, and that passion makes you a creative soul, and that makes you an artist. And that's why you're here. You're an artling. Thanks for joining me. And I thought it would be interesting today to look at what makes us passionate about our passion. So I want to share with you something that's made me passionate about my passion of art, and I want you to think about what works for you too. And so can you remember first encountering what your passion was? Can you think about events that deepened your passion? How about understandings and breakthroughs about your passion and what that meant in your life? So I know for me that I didn't place my passion first in my life. I didn't place my passion for art first in my life until a long time into it. Even though I was mesmerized by it, I was making art throughout it without acknowledging it. But I didn't quite get that that was my passion. But then I had a little breakthrough in understanding when I came across this very uninspiring book in college. I was required to get it, and it was on grammar. Yeah, I know, exciting, right? So it was Strunk and White, The Elements of Style. And I could just barely crack open this book before my face would hit the desk in boredom. So what does that have to do with my passion? Well, let's fast forward now. Many years later, I'm in the bookstore, enjoying it, having a grand time, seeing great books I love, and I come across The Elements of Style. But this time, it's different. It's The Elements of Style Illustrated. Yes. Oh, and its cover was graced with a figure who was both devoted to rules and precise and determined, the perfect essence of grammar. And he's adorable. The illustrator is Myra Kalman, and her art just is wonderful. Not only do I adore it, but it has whimsy and subtlety and depth, but it's not fussy or precious. So let's look at some of the illustrations that have made this great, because there are illustrations all throughout the book. I didn't think there would be, and there are. So let's take a look. We've got rule number 8. Use a dash to set off an abrupt break or interruption, and to announce a long appositive or summary. The example is, his first thought on getting out of bed, dash, if he had any thought at all, dash, was to get back in again. And now, doesn't that just disarm you? Doesn't that take all the stuffiness out of that? Who couldn't like this disheveled-haired person in pajamas? When we get to chapter 3, there's a concept. A Few Matters of Form is the title, and just to bring us right into the present moment with it, Ms. Kalman puts this illustration in. Now when you think of diving, can you even think of anything but form? That's just the perfect subject to show us and for us to immediately get a few matters of form. Even the way she's composed the picture, she's taken it from a standard landscape format and divided it into 3 to give us an emphasis on form, a triptych. Oh, and then we have the surreal. In this chapter, they talk about how to use certain words, and when they talk about unique, they say, unique means without, like, or equal. Hence, there can be no degrees of uniqueness. Here's the bad example. It was the most unique egg beater on the market. And the good example, it was a unique egg beater. And her illustration. Because we're talking about egg beaters after all. Unique. And as they talk about style, Strunk and White, that is, they say, the approach to style is by way of plainness, simplicity, orderliness, sincerity. And the contrasting statement, rich, ornate prose is hard to digest, generally unwholesome, and sometimes nauseating. To be sure. And I don't know about you, but once I get hooked on a book, I just gotta thumb through to the back and see what the author looks like. And Ms. Coleman does not disappoint us. She gives us a portrait of William Strunk, Jr., along with our little friend from the cover, down here. E.B. White, along with our dog friend, and also her own self-portrait. She's not afraid of a hat or her dog. So, of course I had to buy this book. No one had to compel me to do it because it was supposed to be a requirement. And I had to read it cover to cover. And I caressed it. It had shown me that illustration, art, can bring alive a subject matter that I may not be able to access otherwise. And that gave me yet another reason why I should put my art foremost in my life. So, now what about you and your passion? Think about it, Artling. Would you care to share? Come on, bring it on in, group hug. Oh, now I love sharing this with you today. I hope you had a good time too. Thank you for coming and watching and geeking out with me. And you know what to do do it in the comments, right? Tell me all about your passion and your brushes with greatness. And oh, and a shout out to Artling Laura Halen. She is so kind and giving and caring. And Laura, you are so awesome. So remember, I'll see you on Friday with the next part of Carnival of the Animals. And don't be afraid to spill a little paint. Bye. Hey, Ben.
Hey, you know, I still think you should have had a penguin in this one.
Yeah, he is cute.